Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you will receive alerts when there are new episodes. Go get it.
That's what I tell them. Look, I've been grinding for so long, I wake up and chase my goals. I go out and I go get it. How to code, that's all I know. I don't succeed, then I don't breathe. Success, what does it mean? If I conquer all my goals, then I'm living out my dream. Dig deep, go out and get it. Success Chronicles. Compete until it's finished. Success Chronicles. Go take care of your business. Success Chronicles. It's deeper than just winning. Success Chronicles.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Chip Baker coming to you with another episode of the Success Chronicles. Truly excited to have Mr. Zach Bauermaster on with us. A great guy, blessed and fortunate to do some really cool things. And so I'm excited to have him on and share his story. So first, thanks so much for taking the time to interview with the Success Chronicles.
Chip, thanks so much. Appreciate you being here with you. You did an awesome job with my last name. Not many people get my last name like that. So awesome.
Let's go.
Yeah. Thank you for the opportunity to share a little bit about my story. And I appreciate the platform where you allow a lot of people to come on here and share their stories.
Yes, sir. Well, being educators, you'll appreciate this. Man, those names are important. All right. And so, that's one thing that I've always prided myself in. Like saying the names correctly, right? Saying people because that's important. And so I want to make sure, and I always tell them, if I don't say it right, you tell me and I'm gonna make sure that I get it and say it right. Yeah. And just those things, those connections like that shows them right there that I value you. I shows the people I value this is important to me, you're important to me. Yeah. So I make sure I always strive to do that. So let's dive into your journey. I know off air, we talked about your cool journey, the things that you've been blessed to achieve. But if you don't mind sharing some of that with the audience so they have an idea of who you are and what it is you do.
Yeah, a little bit about myself. I'm currently a principal. I'm an elementary school principal. Just an awesome job. Blessed to be the principal of Providence Elementary. And I'm a big believer. I just want kids to love to come to school, but not only kids, the staff to come to school. So just try to create energy. We have something called Fist Bump Friday, where we're just encouraging people. I get on announcements. I say, hey, let's celebrate another awesome week. It's Fist Bump Friday. As kids come in, fist bumping. As we're walking through the halls, fist bumping. As they leave, fist bumping. We actually do it Monday through Friday, but we really celebrate it on Friday. So I'm blessed to be an elementary school principal. I actually started out a high school teacher, so it's been an awesome journey where I was a high school teacher, a high school coach. Then I became a high school assistant principal, and my journey has taken me to an elementary school principal. So it's been neat to see K to 12. And that's been absolutely awesome to see all the levels. Blessed to be married to my high school sweetheart. We have 3 wonderful children, ages 11, 8, and 6. So I'm in the thick of things there as a father. And I'm a firm believer in taking care of my wife first and foremost, and taking care of my kids and make sure I'm leading in my home before I'm leading anywhere else. On top of that, also an author, 2 times author. My second book just came out, Leading with People. And my first book came out in July of 2022. It was Leading with a Humble Heart. So it's just been an awesome journey because part of as I got into writing, it's a lot of stories of what I've learned from people along the way. Grew up playing sports, and just I think about all those coaches, all those people that have impacted my life. So that's just a little background on me. Really been around education, been around sports, teaching, principal, and also doing work with some speaking and writing.
So cool. What are 3 things you've accomplished in your life that you're proud of?
Yeah, that's a great question. When I think of some earthly accomplishments, I'm certainly been blessed to earn my doctorate and just continue to pursue education. My family, they joke I went to school and I never stopped. I sort of fell in love with learning and continuing to grow. And then also writing my 2 books, definitely an accomplishment where you really sit down and you reflect. But I think ultimately, I think it's watching my family grow. And I think when I think of success, I truly think of, how are you making other people better? And that's what I strive to do through writing. That's what I strive to do through being a principal is how are we looking outside of ourselves and making those around us better. But it's been an awesome process to write books. It's been an awesome process to be a principal. I'm just really proud to be a principal.
So cool. You kind of hit on my next thing that I was going to touch base with you on. Just hearing you discuss your journey, hearing you discuss the things that you're proud of. I would consider that to be hugely successful. So the next thing I was just going to ask you about, what's your definition of success? And you mentioned making other people better.
Yeah.
Any other things you want to add on that, or how do you achieve that
yeah,
level of
no,
success?
I think that's great. And I think so. My books they're leadership books. They're faith based. So I think when I think of success, I truly think of, and when I answered, I said earthly accomplishments because they're great. And I'll admit, I'll admit when I accomplish those feelings, sometimes I get you earned your doctorate, the book's published, and that's sort of like, all right, that's it. And you can get caught in that anxious cycle of always wanting to do more. But I truly think success is like obedience to God and aligning, like being his hands and feet. And then when we get in that heart of serving others, and that's why my book's called Leading with People. And it's really about putting other people first. And I tell this story. One time years ago, I was riding bike with my kids and we were having a lot of fun and we got to a hill. And I sped off on my bike and I was the first one up the hill and I thought they would follow me. And I looked back, one was halfway up the hill crying. The other kids weren't even partway up the hill. So we went to the hill again and we tried again. I said, come on, just start pedaling a little bit faster. And again, they didn't make it to the top. So I adjusted. The third time we get to this hill, another day, my oldest daughter, I said, hey, you go in front of me, I'll pedal right behind you. And my other two kids, I said, I'll pedal right beside you. And everyone made it to the top of the hill. And that just really reminded me of leadership. Like leadership it's about coming alongside the people we lead, getting right beside them and helping them reach the top. It's not about me reaching the top. It's about bringing people along to reach the top. And I asked my oldest daughter, I said, how'd you get to the top today? And she said, because we knew you were right there with us. And that was something that I really think about success and leadership is people, too many times we get out in front and think people are coming right with us, but we need to take that step back and come right alongside the people we lead. And that's getting to know them. That's prioritized. That's getting to know them. That's leading with empathy, understanding everyone has a story. We may not know everyone's story. We observe their needs and we meet them where they are and respond with compassion. So that's really when I think of success, I think of, that obedience to God and getting a heart of service and a heart for others.
Well, Dr. Zach, I have one response, one word in response to the definition that you just gave in that story. And that response is boom. Let's go, man. Oh, wait, that was 4 words. Okay.
Yeah, no, and I shared a little bit before we came on air is, in 2015 or so, I went through a difficult journey with anxiety and depression. But through that time, through a lot of prayer, scripture reading, journaling, God uses those times to soften and shape our hearts. And that was a time that he really used for me. And he was preparing me for the journey that lied ahead. And there's been some really cool things that have happened since that time. So it's a time, even though it was really difficult, I wouldn't change it for anything, as I know it softened and shaped the way I lead, the way I'm a father, a husband, and approach people every day.
So good. Well, what I want to do now is, I was going to say now to the fun part, but it's all been fun for me, Doc. Yeah. But what I want to do now is just throw some words at you. And if you don't mind, like 3 phrases or words, if you don't mind, just talk about what comes to mind or heart when you hear these. If you don't mind, you good with that?
Sounds awesome, Chip.
All right. So the first phrase I'll give you is servant leadership.
So servant leadership, and that's great. And I think you'll hear a stereotypical response often of being willing to do anything you'd ask somebody else to do. But I think truly servant leadership is, I picture, and I'm going to go to the Bible here, Jesus washing the disciples' feet, like you're getting down and you're serving people. even especially when it's inconvenient for you. And that's oftentimes when we need to serve the most, when we have a to-do list, when we have something we want to accomplish. But often those times I want to get those things done, I found someone needs me the most. And I think that's servant leadership. I like this story too. One time my family we were on the way to Ocean City, New Jersey for a beach vacation. We had all our bikes piled on the back of the bike on a bike rack. The bike rack snapped. And I called my brother-in-law just to come help get rid of the bikes and take them back. But what he did was he stopped what he was doing. He came to help us on the side of the road. But not only did he take our bike rack off, he put his bike rack on ours. We loaded up our bikes again and we went on the trip. So he was inconvenienced at that moment, but just a heart of service to come meet us where we were, even though it was an inconvenience to him, just serving.
Man, I love that. That's a great story. We all needed to hear that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So the next phrase I'm going to give you is living and learning.
We have to constantly be learning. I'm reading 2 books right now. One is Broken Down House by Paul Tripp. Another one is Habits of the Household. Because those are 2. As a father and as a husband, you know, it's not easy, and you have all these people living together, and you're trying to function and help each other grow. So I always want to make sure I find I can lead better when I'm learning and when I'm reading. But when I get caught up in trying to do my own thing, hustle and bustle of a to-do list, that's what I'm not as sharp and I'm not at my best. So we always need to be living and learning. And I think of all those people in my life, and my eyes were open. So actually in 2015, I was leading a meeting. Anxiety struck. I got nauseous and I actually passed out. And when I came to, there were people surrounding me and my eyes were open, like to that point, like how much we need people in our lives. So then I started to open up because I knew I'd been battling a struggle. Then I started to open up a little bit. So I think to the importance of people, we need to we're made to be interdependent with each other, and we need people to come alongside. So living and learning from each other every day and helping each other, and just creating culture of encouragement in our homes, in our schools, on our sports teams. Just so I really think of people when I think of that as I summarize this answer.
All right. Well, the last one I'm going to give you, I'm going to warn you before I give it to you, and I'm going to tell you, hey, this is the good one right here. This is the good one. This is the good one. but the last one I'm going to give you is legacy.
That's a great one. That's a great one. I love, I forget who sings a song. They say, I don't care if they remember me, only Jesus. But it's really about, and I think that's leadership too. It like when I think of just the impact of my kids, my 2 daughters and my son and the generations. A few years ago, my grandfather passed away at 93 years old. And I remember our family was circled around him in prayer. And you come to the end of your life, and it's not about that earthly success anymore. Outwardly, we're wasting away. And my one cousin prayed, because my grandfather was a farmer. My cousin prayed, just thanking God for Grandpa, a humble farmer who always prioritized his most precious crop, his family. And that's something that stood with me. Like, that's how you pass down a legacy and I've been so blessed to see my grandfather, even thinking about my great grandfathers and my dad, and just something I want to continue to carry down to my kids and in our family, just a close knit family who certainly prioritizes the Lord, but prioritizes our family, building up generations to come.
Man, so good. I love those stories. So good. Well, as we close, I'd love for you to get an opportunity to share with the audience where they can follow you and check you out and show you some love with all the amazing things you have going on, and get that book.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah. So Leading with People actually just came out October 4th, I believe. And then Leading with the Humble Hearts out there as well. So there's ZachBauermaster.com. I'm also on Twitter and Instagram at @ZBauermaster. So you certainly you can connect with me there.
Awesome. Well, again, I just want to say Thank you so much for taking the time to interview with the Success Chronicles. Truly appreciate it, and I wish you continued success.
Chip, thanks so much. Really appreciate connecting with you in this opportunity.
Yes,
Continue
sir.
to encourage others through your story and the stories that you have on your podcast as well.
Yes, sir. And thank you guys for checking out this episode. We'll see you next time. God bless.
Go get it.